You want uppies? I know, we gotta wait for just a minute. Who's that?
Mommy.
We are at Children's Hospital. She's throwing all the toys on the ground. She tested positive for a tree nut allergy, so we're doing a food challenge study where they introduce okay, so I was trying to explain what's going on, which is a little bit difficult because Vivian is all over the place. So Preston has a really bad tree nut allergy. He's like anaphylactic. And so immediately after Kenzie was born, I got her tested for allergies, and the twins I got tested for allergies because it scares me, and obviously I would rather test them to see if they're allergic to something rather than find out and them have really bad reactions. So Vivian tested positive for tree nuts like Preston, and thank you. It was such a mild reaction that you can do a food challenge, which is why we're here today, where they introduce a little bit of what they're allergic to see how they respond, and then they increase the dose throughout the day. So the goal is for her to not be allergic to it, or to have such a little response that we can slowly introduce tree nuts into her body and basically get rid of the allergy. So that's the goal. So she just had her first dose about 10 minutes ago, and the nurses are going to come check on her, and if there's no reaction, then they're going to increase the dose. Come here. Come here. I'll go get you some more.
No.
Come here, please.
No.
Please. See, second dose. They put a little bit of chocolate on it to help. Good? Good girl. All done? All done. More. You gotta wait. Where do you want to go? You want to walk the halls? That's the bathroom. Don't go in there. Let's go this way. Okay. Oh, come here 1 second. Come here. We'll go for a walk. The nurse just came in and gave her her last dose. They've been increasing it like significantly like each time. Oh, can I have my mask? That's mommy's. Thank you. Everything so far has been really good. So I'm hoping that everything continues because it was a pretty large amount that they just gave her. So we have to wait 30 minutes. They'll come check on her to see, just to make sure she's not having any hives or breathing issues. Say hi. Hi. But I think we have to stay for 2 full hours since it was such a large dose, just to make sure everything's okay. And then we'll go from there. So we just gotta wait. It's a waiting game. Uppy, please. Oh, you got it. Good job.
Hello?
Hey.
Hey.
We just got done and got to the car. So she did fantastic. She didn't have any reactions as they were giving her more and like increasing the dose. So
Well, good.
yeah, so that's amazing. So they took tree nuts off her allergy list, which it's so crazy that like blood work and her skin test came back positive, but then them introducing it today, she was fine.
Cool.
Yeah, so I need to email the doctor because they want us to give her cashew butter and stuff a couple times a week to get her like body used to it, because she was like, I don't want you to go home and like not give her any, and then like she ends up being allergic to it, you know, because her body's like not used to having it. So I just need to email the doctor and see, because she didn't really give me like any direction. She was just like, if you give her cashews, that covers pistachios too. And so she was like, you'll just have to do it at a time like your son's obviously not around. And so I just need to see what type of stuff like we can get for them, that, you know, that we can give both of the twins.
I would just get a little thing of cashew butter.
Yeah, and she was saying you can put it on like apples or crackers or whatever. It just makes me nervous having like cashews obviously like in the house because of Preston. Like,
Well, just do it in the backyard.
come on girls, let's go in the backyard and have your snack.
I don't know.
I mean, we just have to make sure it's, you know, he can't get to it, whatever we end up getting, and that we give it to them when he's obviously not around. So that's such a like huge relief. I've had the worst anxiety after finding out that Vivian came back, her test came back positive for tree nuts, because Preston's last reaction that he had when he somebody accidentally gave him cashews was like horrible. He immediately, like, his lips swelled up, he had hives everywhere. Luckily we live like right next to a hospital, but he had to have an EpiPen twice, and then the hospital had him stay overnight just to make sure like everything was okay before they sent him home. So it was very, very scary. So finding out that Vivian's came back positive for tree nuts, I mean any kind of nuts is scary, any kind of allergy is scary, let me just say that. Actually, I'm coming back in I think 2 weeks for Kensington, because she was diagnosed with a peanut allergy a few years ago when I got hers tested, but they've done blood work a few times and the amount has gone lower each time. Like I think they check for like the antibodies. And so the allergist was saying that, you know, she might have a tiny bit of a reaction to the peanuts, like the skin test, but be completely fine. So she's the next one that we need to figure it out. And it's just so crazy to me because I have a 0 nut allergies. I'm not allergic to like any foods actually, and Nate isn't either. So it's so crazy to me that they have these like nut allergies. So yeah. And then also what I was mentioning to Nate on the phone is there is a, I don't know what the therapy is called, I'll have to look into it, but you can like pretty much, they work on like reversing the allergy. And so that was the goal today, was to increase the cashew butter little by little to like get her body used to it and make sure that she doesn't have like any hives or any sort of reaction. And so Children's Hospital is trying to get this like therapy to like reverse allergies, because we had to go to one that was like 45 minutes away. The one by our house is looking into having it, and this location as well, to where Preston would have to come. And I think they mentioned it's like every single day they have to give him a tiny bit of like tree nuts in a controlled environment. Obviously, like there's professionals around. If he ends up needing an EpiPen or something, at least he's in the hospital. But they do it every single day, I think, for a certain amount of time, to get his body used to having a little bit in his system. And the way that the doctor like described everything to me is like, more than likely it's not going to get rid of the allergy completely. Again, I haven't done a ton of research on this. It was just like a brief discussion, but I'm going to be looking into it, especially for Preston. But she was telling me it can get him at least used to it enough to where he doesn't have like an anaphylactic emergency needing to go to the hospital reaction if he happens to consume some tree nuts. So for me, that's huge. I'm happy with that, as long as I don't have to worry about him being anaphylactic, not being able to breathe, having to have an EpiPen. Like, I'm happy with getting it at least to the point to where we can like manage the allergy a little bit, because each reaction he's had over the past like 3 years, it's gotten worse. And the allergist did say it's not it doesn't mean each reaction he has like moving forward is gonna get worse. He could have just consumed more cashews this time. But typically in the past, he gets hives and throws up, and this time it was like the lip swelling, the breathing, hives everywhere, needing the EpiPen, and so that's extremely scary. Luckily, he's at an age now to where like if he's at a friend's house or something, he'll say, I have a cashew allergy. Does that have cashews in it, or does that have tree nuts in it? So that does make me feel a little bit better, but my biggest fear is like him being at a friend's house, or being like, it's happened before when he was little. He was at a soccer game and one of my girlfriends gave him a granola bar that had tree nuts in it, and he immediately like had a reaction to it. So, and at that point he was too little to be able to like read and see like, are there cashews or anything like that. So that's just my biggest fear, is like him being in a situation to where he has a reaction and nobody knows like what to do in the case of an emergency. So I'm going to work my hardest to look into this like type of therapy, and whenever it's available for tree nuts, I'm going to sign him up, because I think majority of it right now is just for peanuts. I think that's where they've kind of started, is starting with peanuts. So yeah, it's scary. Allergies are scary, and I mean, there's people that have severe allergies that they have their whole life. So I'm glad that I took the steps to get, you know, the twins tested, Kensington tested ahead of time before, because like with Preston, I think he was 3 years old, and I just like eating mixed nuts, and I happened to be eating like cashews, and I gave him some, and he immediately got hives, and I rushed him to urgent care, and that's when they did like blood work and stuff, and we're like, okay, he's allergic to tree nuts. So after that, I was just like, I'd rather moving forward get my children tested to know if they have an allergy, instead of just risking it and giving them things and then they have a bad reaction, you know. So I'll definitely do like a follow-up video though, because just posting on my Instagram and stuff, I know that there's so many moms out there that are worried about allergies, their children have allergies, and they want to know what steps to take, what they can do. There's a YouTuber, Liza, that I was talking to on Instagram, because I know her son has a pretty severe nut allergy from what I understand from our conversation. So I know she was looking into doing this type of therapy to try to get it reversed as well. So I know it's common and people are going through that. So any information that I can share or things that I've been through, I will. And again, I'm not a doctor. I've just been through these specific allergies with a few of my kids and dealing with them and coming up with a plan and figuring it out. So I'm happy to share any information that I have. So I will keep you guys posted the next time that I come in with Kensington, and anything that I find out like moving forward with any of their allergies, especially Preston's. We are hungry and tired, and thank you for watching, and I hope this helps some of you out there. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me and I'll try my best to point you in the right direction. But if you're struggling with like allergies and the unknown, I feel for you. I'm here for you, and we'll all get through this.